Yes, Ruchi, starting the class, please. So now understand, in language and thoughts, what and all we have to study. First beginning, we were discussing about the language contents and other things. Now we are going to go to the next section. Now just first started with what? We started with a simple thing I'm going to explain here. See, language and thoughts, it is exactly connected to what you are speaking, how you are speaking, what and all contents are there. That was exactly there. Now the second thing here is, when we talk about language, language is exactly having, what is the main purpose of language? The main purpose of language is communication, understood or not? And we communicate with many basic ideas. That was very important thing. So communication is one of the most important thing, and our internal thought has to be monitored. Means whatever we are thinking, that has to get channelized and that has to come out. So that was also one of the most important thing. So for that only, for that purpose only, there is a, what you call, there is a language. The language is acting as a bridge to, what you call, cater, or that it is acting as a bridge to communicate to people. I hope you might have understood. Now, language is the human ability to acquire and use complex system of communication, and a particular language like English or Hindi. So when we talk about English or Hindi is a specific example of such a system. 100%. Na? So one simple example we can take as Hindi or English. It is exactly helpful for communications. Understood or not? And it is also creating a bridge. It is also creating a bridge. The scientific study of language is called linguistics. This is the last class we have studied, and we talked about the scientific study of language is called linguistics. And specifically when we are speaking language, at that time phonics and everything is very much accountable. The most important major part what we have encountered in the previous class was it's not only phonics, spelling, the pronunciation, everything is very important, because according to that only we will be able to have a flawless communication. So communication between two people, that flawless communication is needed, and for that flawless communication we need to know the language very nicely. That's the most important thing. The characteristics of language are as follows. So we have learned the characteristics of language. Now we are going to understand about it. Good evening, sir. So here it has the properties of productivity. It has the properties of productivity because it is able to communicate. So when we are able to communicate to the people whom we are knowing, it is not by sign convention, because sign convention is a complete idea. Like you can show anger by facial expression, you can show happiness by facial expression. But if you want to ask any question, means that time you cannot be able to communicate until and unless you have some basic bridge between you and the person to whom you are talking. So that's the most important thing here. So now understand, it is able to communicate about things and that are not immediately present. Understood? So things that are either not here or not there, that is also going to get related to. Okay, so it relies entirely on social conventions and learning. So definitely it is relying total on social conventions and learning. So definitely that is a most important thing. Now what we can do here is the second part what we are going to understand is its complex structure afford a much wider range of expression that any known system of animal communications. Understood or not? So animals are also communicating. So animals are also communicating. So one very important thing is when animals are communicating, how animals are communicating, they are also having some sign convention. The sign convention of animal communication is their own specific way. They use their sound vibrations to communicate to another. Some of the animals, they can understand infrasonic waves. Some of the animals, they can understand ultrasonic waves. Means the waves which is much beyond our listening capacity. And because of that, they can catch what you called tsunami to any other things. That's a different thing. So we are going to understand the next important part is it helps in communicating an individual thoughts, expression, emotions, feelings. So when we talk, when we use a specific language, that time we are able to not only cater the disbalance between the content, but we can also be able to communicate with emotion, we are good able to communicate with expression, feelings, and then we will be able to take out what is actually inside us. That's also one of the most important thing. Ruchi, I hope you are understanding this one. Did you understood this part? So already this section we have done. What happened? You are not replying in the chat box. You are giving me personal reply. What happened? So now look you, it helps preserve and maintain historical, cultural and civilization related records. Yes, so if we are knowing some language, you need to understand one thing like how we are going to preserve some ideas. Like today some incident is happening, like a very historical moment has happened, something very good might have happened. Now that something very good might have been recorded. Okay, so recording means what? You can only record video, means it will not be going to be understandable for the coming generation. So only what it has to be recorded with what you call some words. So that was exactly done in previous time. You might have seen that in cave system what they were there, that our ancestors what they used to do is they used to write somewhere, and their own language, whatever sign conventions they were using, whatever language they were using. In Egyptian culture also, Harappan, Mohenjo-daro culture also, they were writing, they were scripting something. That scription was about how they lived that life and what and all things had happened. And definitely in all the temples you will be seeing that there are some manuscript they are exactly going to maintain, and that manuscript is exactly explaining much about the technology what they were using. So most of the things what they used they wrote there. So that was also one of the most important thing, is how they use the language to describe what and all changes they have done. Okay, so most important thing is historical, cultural, civilization related records also has to be what you call stored in the form of language. Understood? So now phonology refers to sound of a language, how a language sounds like. Because if I speak in English, it is different. If I speak in Hindi, it is different. If I speak in any other language, it will be different. Why? Because any language I will be using, I will be communicating, means the things will change. My way of pronunciation will change. Means English में pronunciation may be different. Hindi अगर मैं बोल रही हूँ तो वो pronunciation different हो जाएगा. So any other language if I will speak means the pronunciation will change, my content will change, my way of speak will change. Understood? Now semantics. What is the meaning of semantics? It is the study of word and its meaning. So please remember, phonology means sound of a language, how the language sounds, that comes under phonology. Like if I'm speaking in Tamil or any other language, so that time if I'm speaking means it might be sounding different, because it is not only related to I'm speaking, it is about the pronunciation with which I'm speaking, the tone with which I'm speaking, everything will be having an importance in that level. Okay, so now semantics, it is the study of word and its meaning. So when we use a word like apple, so maybe my pronunciation is different with apple, but somebody will be using the word apple. So definitely the phonics, the way the pronunciation comes, that also varies. Okay, so that comes under semantics, the study of word and its meaning. So when we are using some word like apple, that means definitely it's a fruit. So it is having a meaning. So most of the time when we are using these words, it will have some meaning. So that will be changing. Now grammar is one of the crucial factor of every language. See, in mathematics, what we are doing, we are using formulas, we are using techniques, how to maintain that formula. But if Hindi, English, Tamil, Bengali, any other language we are learning, that means it is exactly back supported by grammar, because grammar is very important, because the phonics, the sound of the words and its pronunciation, its meaning, everything comes with grammar. A very best vocab with the grammar support means we will be able to speak that language with much fluency without doing any mistake. But yes, the sound generated by that language will definitely have a different meaning. Understood? So here you need to understand that grammar refers to the rules used to describe the structure of a language, which involves syntax or rules that specify how words are combined to form sentences. So 100% how words are combined to form sentences is also very, very important. Ruchi, are you there in the group? Please, can you say this first? Yeah. Definitely, we need to proceed with our work. So I hope you might have understood how grammar is playing the most vital role. How grammar is exactly one of the pillar of language. So if I have to speak Hindi means I cannot speak Hindi without grammar, because definitely means there are two different ways of speaking. One by hearing. Hearing means you will be able to speak how much you are knowing. Understood? But one when you are learning and speaking, that depth will be different. That pronunciation will be different. The content, the emotion with which what you are speaking, that will be totally different. So 100% that vibration will be coming with that. Now pragmatics. What is the meaning of pragmatics? See, till here I have exactly covered phonology, semantics, grammar, and now I am covering pragmatics. It is the study of how people use language to communicate. This is a very important thing and it is having a depth meaning. Okay. Wait, one phone call is coming here. What is this? Now look here. So if somebody will be talking about pragmatics, it is the study of how people use language. So how people are using language comes under pragmatic. So what is the meaning of pragmatic is कि when how I am communicating to you, like in English, how I am communicating to you. If I don't know English, means after every sentence I will be definitely stammering. I'll take some time, I'll take some pause, and then I'll speak. So that's what is called as कि after thinking I'm speaking, because I'm very precautious. I'm very precautious, like how much I have to speak, what I have to speak, what not I have to speak, so that I will be definitely taking care of. Understood? So what is the level of communication is also plays a very vital role. The building block of language are called phonemes. So definitely the building block of language is called as phonemes. Pronunciation, sounding effect. Sound effect is also very, very important. Understood? So what we have learned here, Ruchi, did you understood language of communicating? Your subject is English itself, boss. So you might be knowing that what I am speaking correctly right now. Correct, na, Ruchi? Come on, say. Yeah. Till here I'm right? Till here I'm right, you have to say, because I'm entering into your area. Mathematics means I can say mathematics means whenever I'm using mathematics means if somebody will be using mathematics means I'll get the idea, okay, that person is going correct, 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 till that phase the person is going correct, this phase is correct, this phase is wrong. But if I'm using perfect, thank you so much. Now look here. So they are the unique sounds that can be joined to create words. Like for instance, the sound of P in pin, pet and pat, or the sound of B in bed, bat and bird, and so on. Instant can distinguish many of these sounds. Some of them are early as 1 month after birth. So definitely, na, you might have seen that small kuti babies will be there. Now there will be pronunciation. Their pronunciation will be totally different. Correct, na? Because if they will be pronouncing, their pronunciation will be totally into that lang where we will not be able to understand things. We'll not be able to miss. If we hear also, we are knowing that it will be not that, but without teeth, a person how they will speak. It will sound like that only. Okay. So definitely the infants can distinguish many of these sounds. Some of them are early as on month after birth, but yes, they will be. So definitely when they speak, it will be difficult for us to understand. But small children, if they are in a family, like this is a very unique thing now. We don't actually think about it. Like a person family means 2 3 different languages are spoken in one family. You might be seeing that till the child will be 5 years of age, the child will be learning all the languages. Means they will be communicating with father with a different language, mother with different language, and if some other people are there, they're using another language, means the child will be able to communicate in that 2 3 languages also. So multi-language they are exactly learning, but they learn it so what you call fluently, means you will not be able to understand, catch that also. That's what is the learning capacity. Between 0 years of age till 5 years of age, the learning capacity of a child is very fast. And after years and years and years and years, the learning capacity reduces out. That's the most important thing. Understood? So they ask till which year the child learning capacity is very good. And we can be able to understand also till what year of age the child will be able to have a growth. That also, growth means here I'm not talking about physical growth, I'm talking about mental growth. Understood? So definitely these things are very very accountable. Factor affecting language development. So what and all things are there, what and all factors are there which is affecting language development? Which is affecting language development means, so what and all factors are affecting language development? So factor affecting language development means linguistic experts say that although every child does not reach the same milestone of language development at the same time, natural human progression is the main factor in language development. The three main factors that affect language development are, so definitely first thing now, nobody can have the same level of thinking. First though, we should not be thinking like that कि if this person is having the growth that this person, see, body growth is a different factor, mental growth is a different factor, because mental growth comes with maturity. Understood not? I'm not talking about another factor, psychology or any other thing. I am saying here relating with the students means the small child, 5 years of age, 7 years of age, 9 years of age, means the more the age will grow, the stability in understanding the content will come. Understood? That's a more crucial factor. So but we cannot compare two children together. Means in the same classroom, one child is very best in English, another child is mediocre. So definitely we cannot be fighting with that child, hey, why you are not like that person. Relating someone with another person is not good, because everyone is not same, because our fingers are not same. So definitely when our finger itself is not same, though they belongs to us, then how can we relate two people together imagining that these two people can be same in all the respects? That's not possible. Understood or not? So definitely the mental growth of a child cannot be same. There are many crucial factors related to it. First though, heredity. Understood? Heredity here, learning is not heredity. Please kindly note this. I'm just telling you heredity here means maybe some disease or some factors are exactly carried forward from the parent to the young one. So that can also hinder the growth, mental growth of a child. The second factor may be the surrounding, the environment when a child is grown up. See, enough environment where the child is grown up, their the grandparents are there, mother, father is there, everybody is there. Now the child will be seeing the parents to using some colloquial language or different type of languages. At that particular moment, what will happen? At that particular moment, what will happen? At that particular moment, what will happen when the person will be using some colloquial, and they will be seeing that fight between parents are there, and they will be seeing that language, different type of languages, local languages, bad languages, slang languages used, means the child will also be very keen to adopt that, and the tone of the child will become like that. Rather than symbolizing humble tone, the child will learn that what you call rough tone. So definitely totally depends upon what surrounding the child is exactly born in and how the child is interactive. So definitely if you will be keep on speaking to the child in English, means the child will definitely be able to communicate in English. So that means that the first school for a child is the home. So in that home itself, how humble the parents are talking, how smooth the surrounding is, the child will learn that one. So definitely it's about the education, what the family is prevailing. So only the growth of a child will be very high. If the child will be in a what you call in a very where the mother, see, the most important thing is maybe the father is working, so father will not be with the child, but the mother who is exactly speaking, and the mother is very near to the child, means she'll keep on speaking in English, she'll be very humble. So that will intact the student, and that will intact the child, and that language will come inside. If mother itself is using rough language, slang language, then definitely we cannot expect anything from the child. There was one very big example was like a very famous person was there. Both father and mother were exactly taking care of the child, but one stage happened when due to work commitment, they both left the child in in a, what you call, in a maid servant. After 1 year, when they are seeing the maid servant, the child is speaking to that maid servant language. So definitely it's like where you are, that surrounding will definitely impact you. No matter how much educated you are, the person who is with you, that will impact your understanding, your language, your skills, everything. And for a small child, it is exactly very, very common thing. That's not going to be changed. I hope you might have understood. So the main factor that affect language development, so what and all are the main factors? So these are exactly the social. Social means the surrounding, the family, your family people, relatives, when they will be communicating with a child. So definitely they'll communicate. How humble a person is talking to the child. If you see the child tone is very rough, the child speak in a very unwanted tone, that understand that the surrounding is exactly not giving the child a very perfect way of communication. So nowadays what is there is, okay, the parents try to speak in English, because the child will also learn that English, and that child will also be able to speak, because English is one of the most important connecting language which is needed. So how fluent a mother is speaking, how fluent a mother is approaching. If a mother itself is speaking like a rowdy, definitely she is speaking like in a very harsh tone, means we cannot expect anything from the child. Understood or not? So social a child language, so definitely social interaction with the parents, siblings, peers, and caretakers, new words in the childhood vocabulary result. Definitely, I have seen many children, they are using some bad languages. Why? Because the mother is very much used for using that language, or father is using that language. What tone they speak, what new language they will use, the child will also learn. But some children, when you will meet with, they will very fluently talk in English, and they will be very good to communicate with you. Good to communicate means they will speak less, but they will speak very important words. Like in English also, their pronunciation will be very good. So definitely that's the most important. The social interaction is one of the most important pillar for language. Ruchi, till here is it correct? So new words in the child, that is vocabulary results due to its interaction with others. However, socio-economic conditions also affect language development, because it has been found that children from a poor socio-economic background speak much lesser number of words. That's what is very, very important, and that's what is very, very crucial thing. So you need to understand that a family where money is not there, money is one of the most important factor. So when money will not be there, definitely there will be some strains. The strains will be coming between, then the impact will be shown in the family. The family will continuously speak about that thing. So don't think like the child is not hearing, the child is having ears, and they continuously listen that. So 100% when they are listening, it is impacting them. They'll not reflect to you, they'll not speak to you, but they are very good listeners. And definitely when they will be listening, so they are seeing that, okay, fine, there is a fight in the family, they are understanding this is fight. And after that, the language skill, the development will be exactly hindered, because here two people are not interactive with the child to let them speak new vocab, to let them speak new language or new words, to add new words in their brain dictionary, so that they can be able to capture many situations. But here what is happening is, the parents are exactly giving new feeding words inside the brain, where the child is understanding that, okay, this is the situation of my family and this is the condition, I am not going to study also, this is the weakness of my family. So this is the most important thing. No matter whatever is the situation, don't let this happen to your child. You have to exactly keep. So that's the most important pillar is mother. Mother should be speaking in English, means the child will automatically speak in English. Means one factor in the family is educated, means the entire surrounding of the family will be changing, because the mother is the idol, the father is the idol of a child. So if the child is seeing the father is itself using some bad words in this thing, then we cannot expect anything. So here this is the most crucial thing written, like socio-economic situation of a family is very important. Maybe money is not there, but don't reflect to the family person. The most important pillar is your child. They should never be knowing about these are the situations of the family, then definitely they will take advantage in coming future. I hope you might have understood this one. So this is professional families, so same age from professional families. But professional families, what they do, they know, means if a father is working, mother, see there are two different type of stages. When father and mother is also working, they are unable to give time to the child. That's also a stagnant stage. But that time, if they are communicating with the child is understanding that my parents are exactly out and they are for work and they are training the child properly, means the child growth will be good. Another stage is when the father is very educated, mother is not at all educated, and she is using continuously slang languages. That time the father cannot expect that the mother is going to train my child very nicely, because the most unsafe place, see, though mother is very near to the child, but at the stage of development the mother will not be feeding that information, because sooner or later it will reflect in the education of the child, that the child is, because right now we are talking about development of a child, and in development of a child the first pillar for the development of the child is the mother itself. If she is speaking, how she is speaking, that will be influencing the child. That's the true thing, and that's the cruel thing also, because that's the cruelty. Cruelty, why? Because people will be associated like mother cannot harm, but yes, the mother tone will go to the child will definitely speak in the same tone. So if a mother is very humble, her speaking tone is very good, the child will definitely be learning that humbleness, the child will be learning that politeness and the decency and the way of communicating. So that's the most crucial factor. See, the educational environment, definitely first to family, the socio-cultural environment will be there, that is acting as a very big yes to the family growth and the child growth. The second one is the education, where we are studying, means the first school is the family, the second school is the house. In the house, how the child is communicating, that is a different thing. But when they, for that only, if the house is stagnant, the mother is unable or the family people is unable to educate the child, then they are sending the child to school. That's what, now for that only educational institutions are there, so that whatever is missing in house, that has to be catered, that has to be balanced in outside. And for that balance outstanding means the parents are sending. It's not like, see here, one thing is that it's not like that if house is this much means the child will think like my parents are they are not educated, so they can blame their parents for everything. That's also is not good. So for that only the parents are sending a child to school, and the school has to bear the burden of teaching the language to the child. That is the most crucial factor. So where the educational institution work is कि after a certain age the educational institution people has to take the responsibility to teach the child. So whatever lagging is there from the family, whatever is lagging there from the family, that lag has to be, that lag has to be overcome, that lag has to be overcome, and that lag will be overcome by the school. Ruchi, till here is it okay? Is it understandable? So we need to understand that the language and thought development, language development is boosted by correct exposure to reading and listening to correct language being spoken. Attending school exposes the child to a variety of learning experiences. So in the school, what is the basic idea of sending a child to school is, in school the experts are there, like Hindi expert is there, a madam is there who is teaching Hindi, a madam is there who is teaching Tamil, a madam is there who is teaching English. So definitely all the madams, all the sirs are there, they're expert in the language, and then the boost will be there. So definitely that's the crucial factor. What I'm lagging in my socio-cultural environment, I have to fulfill that lag in school. So definitely the school is the second pillar, but school is the most crucial pillar. So only the parents are blindly trusting the education institutions, because they know that I can't do that work. I can't be a physics teacher to my son, I can't be a science teacher to my daughter. So definitely when I can't be, that means who can be? The institution, the educational institutions can be. So they blindly trust the education institution. They are sending the child to the education institution. When they are sending, there's a hope. Okay, I'm investing money. So that's a type of business. That's a type of investment. Okay, I'm investing this much money to the institution. In a return, what I'm getting is my child education. That's the only thing. For that the parents are sending the child to school, and definitely that responsibility has to be bared and has to be taken by the educational institutions. And when they teach, when they are having the correct exposure to the language, the child will be learning in a most appropriate way. Then what is the lagging thing was there in the family, it is going to be overcome. That's the most crucial factor. I hope everybody might have understood this part very nicely. Ruchi, did you understood it? Is it okay? So attending school exposes the child to a variety of learning experiences. So definitely if I want to, heart attack, yeah, this much call coming means I will definitely switch off phone now. So definitely, what will happen? The variety of learning experiences will be there. So definitely, when we learn in that exposure, that learning will be very much high. I hope you might have understood. Just 1 minute, Ruchi. Okay, fine. The students are thinking today class is different class. Okay, so biological. Some children are slow in language and speech. See, now the first thing is like, the family is one of the reason, school is the reason. Now, third is the biological factor, health. Health is also very crucial. Like, I want to add one thing here. Like, see, if a person is not mentally fit, physically not okay, some disease is there, we cannot expect that child to be perfect. That's the most important thing. We cannot expect that child to be, maybe from outside everybody look healthy, but it does not feel like from inside it is also healthy. So inside structure is different, the factory is looking very nice, but inside the problem is there, means we cannot be able to impart that knowledge what we are actually thinking of giving. See, I'll keep on stammering, I'll keep on blabbering something, I'll keep on teaching this thing, that thing. But you know what will happen? The child will not understand that. How they will understand? They'll not listen that, because inside them problem is that if a person is suffering from 100 degrees Celsius, sorry, 100-degree Fahrenheit fever is there. Celsius, no, Fahrenheit. So definitely, if that much fever is there, and you are thinking the child will write the exam, then definitely either you are Hitler or cruel, or they. That's not called as education, because we cannot impose a child, or we cannot threaten a child to do what work we are thinking they can do. It's my health is good, but my student health is not good, means I cannot impose a situation like you have to give this examination at any cost. They can't do it. Okay, so they'll not be able to do it. So at that time we cannot impose this situation. Hmm? So now look here. So language speech development. So if there are some problems, if there are some mental problems, or there is some growth development, growth related problems, some biological factor related contents are there, that time the mental growth will be slowed down. And definitely the mental growth slow down means it is like it is going to impact the learning skills. It will impact the growth rate of the mental abilities. So that's also one of the most crucial factor. Understood? So now understand, mental defect making communication slow. Cleft lip, this cleft lip, palate from birth, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, that is AHDH, a brain defect, brain injury during birth. Such children may not be able to use word that is coherently, or have difficulty in communication with others, for forming relationship with people, or using abstract concept and language. See, I want to tell you one thing here is, what is that what is this called as cleft, that is cleft lip. Cleft lip means here na, in between that gap will be there, the lip will not be in proper size. Then what the doctors are doing, the doctors are stitching, and the doctor will be exactly making it look like plastic surgery they will do, and they'll make it safe. So because of that, what will happen is, the network okay, Ruchi? When all problems gone, network problems on. Network problem is there. Say yes or no. Okay, fine. That's good. Great. So difficulty in communication will be there. Any disorder, AHDH, that is called as what you call attention deficient hypersensitivity, hyperactivity disorder is there. Because of that, also the child may not be able to communicate properly. Okay. So importance of language. Now we are going to talk about importance of language. That is also one of the most crucial things. So till here, I hope the class is going according to the pace. Is it good, Ruchi? You are understanding nicely. Come on, say, is the things okay? Late night classes, I don't think it is more effective. I think 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock class time is much better, na? Because I'm also getting very tired and I'm not able to communicate to that level, and much distractions will be there. Net is not there, this is not there, that problem is there, this problem is there. But right now, in a very smooth manner, I'm teaching, no disturbance is there. Late night means more disturbance is coming. Correct, na? Now, come on. So, carries our thought language is the vehicle of our thought. So, carries our so importance of role of language in the life of an individual is in the area given below. So, what and all are the areas where the thoughts and things are exactly going to be imparted? The first important thing is language is the vehicle of our thought. Definitely the language is the vehicle of our thought. What we are thinking we are speaking, but how we are communicating with the help of language. Now maybe that language yeah uh, so maybe the language will be different, the things will be different, but when the thoughts are there, whatever thoughts are coming in your brain, in the form of language only you are communicating. So what is exactly the language that is exactly getting coming out in the thought, the thoughts are exactly coming out in the form of language. So we think through language. Thoughts is also called subvocal speech. That's a very important thing you always remember. You know what, most of the time it is said like what you are thinking, like many people the if you want to speak nicely, if you want to learn English, you have to think in English. That's the most important thing. That's the most crucial factor also. If you want to speak I don't know, but I am, see, if somebody is there who is teaching you Hindi, so you have to think in Hindi. If you think in Hindi, then only you will be able to communicate in Hindi. So that means the thought process should also have a language. Like when you are thinking inside your brain, you are not thinking in vibrations, you are thinking in a language. Like the mother language is the most common language, a person is thinking in that language only. Okay, so many times if they will think, if they will ask this question like in what language you are going to speak to, then we will say that we never noticed it. But the actual thing is we are speaking in our mother language. We are thinking in our mother language. So our thought process should be like, if I'm thinking means if I have made much influence, uh, much I'm fluent in English and I'm most of the time using in English means talking in English means, definitely one stage will come when my thought process will also go in English. Like to myself, if I will be talking also, I will be talking in English. Believe me, that will be the best stage. Means which language you have to master on, if that language you will be speaking on in your thought process, that is exactly the best possible way. But one more important thing is that sometimes you will speak in that language which you don't know also. That's a case of mental retardation. That's exactly, I'm just kidding you, because see what happens is some of the thoughts, some of the things may be hidden in the unconscious state of mind, the state of mind which is not aware by you, because many of the things are you are knowing and many of the things you are not knowing. So that subconscious state of mind or super conscious state of mind will be reflecting some of the thought process. I've done much discovery in that, because the first case for study is me only. So I want to study everything. So I want to study myself first. So to study myself, I'm studying these things very much. Okay, the thinking process is disturbed in the individual has deficiency in language, and definitely the thinking process will be disturbed if difficulty in language is there. See, what you think, that you do. That's the most important. What you think, that you speak. That's two important crucial factor. What you think, that you speak. That's the most important thing. Again and again I'm telling, whatever you are thinking, that you are speaking, and that communication is the most vital form of communication. But if you are unable to think in a language, then you will not be able to communicate in a language. You try to speak in English by thinking in Tamil, you will never be able to do what you are thinking. The brain is exactly channelizing the content very fast, and it will be channelizing in 1 2 3 4 5 6, cut specific language, and it will come out. So that's the most crucial point. I hope you might have understood this one, huh? So medium of expression, language is the medium of expression of a child feeling and experience and expressions, and through signs, gestures and speech. So definitely the child will be speaking in all this mode. So if I have to show anger, I will not be showing anger by facial expression, because maybe I look very funny if I will be showing anger. So rather than that, I'll shout. The shouting in that language itself will come out in a tone, and that will be in specific language what we are very acquainted with. So that's also one of the most crucial factor. I hope you might have understood here. So medium of communication, a child communicate with other through language. Language has also become a major tool of communication between countries, culture, group, and different type of categories will be there. So company, organization, so where you are, there you will be able to interact with the person with the mode of language only. And nowadays so only we are exactly making worldwide one common language. See, the regional language what we are using, the mother tongue what we are using, that is a way of communication in family, but that communication will not work internationally. Like you went Australia, or you went Japan, or you went Africa, there you cannot stand and you say that I'm an alien, I am not this language, and I'm not going to speak in your language. So definitely there will be a very big gap. Like some foreigners, they are coming to India, so that time if we will not be able to communicate to them, they will not be coming to our country again. So that time what language we have to know is English, and English will be the that language through which we can communicate to them and whatever they want, because basically they, for trading system and different systems, our language should not act as a barrier. I hope you might have understood. So it's a major tool. Language is a major tool. So only internationally one specific language has been adopted, and that is English. And English becomes the medium of instructions in most of the country. Understood? Most of the country, because the country also knows that what you call, the foreigners are coming, and from the foreigners they are getting a good amount of money. Like I will go to Australia, so definitely when I'm going to Australia, much tax will be there, this thing will be there, that thing will be there. So as a tourist also I am going there, means for visiting the areas, definitely the country is having a benefit, so that benefit will act good for them. So definitely for this purpose and many other purpose, it's very good to have one language as common entire worldwide. So the language which is exactly creating as a link is English right now. I hope it is very much clear. So basis of education, language is the basis of all education. Definitely school education is predominantly language oriented, reading, writing, arithmetic and all based language proficiency. So only you might have noticed one thing, mathematics is also taught in English. All the subjects, most of the subjects are exactly taught in English. Specifically language are left behind. Like Tamil I cannot teach in English, but nowadays what we are doing is we are translating. Means if you will be seeing that most of the people, they are typing Tamil also in English. Understood? So actually what is that, we are not writing Tamil in Tamil, because the person who is not knowing Tamil, they won't be able to understand it. That's the thing. See, you might have not noticed this thing, but you need to notice this part. Like any other word in Tamil also is exactly nowadays written in English, so that the person who is not knowing Tamil will be able to understand. Much of the Hindi words are also typed in English. So definitely Sanskrit words are also typed in English. Why? Because we have to have a common language for communication, to build a bridge between all the different type of speaking languages and the people who are speaking, and they should be having a common passage of talking. Then English is exactly going to serve the purpose. I hope it is very clear to you, and by using the English word I have explained most of the points here. Now the next, the basis of education, language is the basis of all education. School education is predominantly language oriented. Reading, writing and arithmetics are all based on language proficiency. Medium of literature, language is the medium of literature. Okay, language is the medium of literature. All great literature works are produced through the medium of language. Language thus helps in child to read literature, understand. So you might have seen that most of the stories, novels, dramas, they are written in a language, like all the language, like Panchatantra. One simple example I am giving: Panchatantra. Panchatantra was a I forgot the name of the person who has written it. If you know Ruchi, you can say. So definitely Rabindranath. I was remembering it. If I am not literature person, means some person has written it. I don't know XYZ person, but Bankim. I forgot. 100% I forgot. But Panchatantra was there, and different type of stories were there. I think in Hindi also many were there, and Tirukural in Tamil I'm hearing about Tirukural. In English we are talking about much of the poems which is exactly given by well known writers. They have scripted it in English, they have scripted it in Tamil, they have scripted it in Hindi. What is the basic idea of scripting is the good thought should be written somewhere. The good thought has to be captured in a form of language, so that in coming generation the children who are deprived of the knowledge can read that and can understand that. And literature is one of the most important thing through which the child can be able to get the moral of the story. What is the moral of the story? Moral of the story here means what you are understanding after reading a story. So only Panchtantras and different type of stories has been originated. It's true or not, that is a different thing, but it is written in a language where the child is reading it and writing it and understanding it. So the literature is, apart from grammar, the literature is one of the most important crucial thing for a child to learn, understand the society, and to learn and understand the most crucial factor about life: emotions, understanding, behavior, and then expression of thought. Everything will come if one story they will read. So one story was there. In that story, I hope that story was means different type of stories are, if I'm going to read, say the story means, so that things are there. So in that crucial patterns, if anybody will be speaking in one storyline, and it will impact the brain of a human. Small children are more acquainted with like stories. So if you'll keep on saying the small baby is a story, and then you'll try to let the child understand, they'll understand in a much better way. I hope you might have understood this one. Vishnu Sharma, Panchatantra. Ah, nice, boss. Thank you so much. I forgot, yeah. Seriously, I forgot. This much I'm mathematician formula itself is a very difficult thing, but fine. But definitely, I think Mahadevi Verma was there, and there were some authors who has written some of the stories to that tagline, where we were understanding the nature of life much better, and we were understanding emotions, human emotions, like what to be done and what not to be done, what is exactly hurting someone and which is not hurting. So if we are reading some literature stories, what we learn is emotions. The most important thing for a person is emotions. How a person cares another person is totally dependent on the emotions what that person is having. And that's one of the most crucial thing, because if we behave someone with a very rude tone, that means definitely a message is went wrong. That message is that you have not understood the meaning of emotions, understood. And language is something which teaches us not only behavior, but it is also teaching us how to be very emotional to certain things, and how to wipe out the emotion if it is something very cruel. So definitely language is cutting the barrier in all those factors also. So theories of language development. Next class we are going to go for theories of language development. Ruchi, I hope the class was good. Did you understand it? Great. Thank you so much. I think I think now Masaya. Fine. Thank you so much, Ruchi. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start maths. So join that session also, because surface area and volume I'm going to teach. The formulas will be definitely very, very important. See, language, I believe one thing, like emotions has to be understood by people. Like if I'm not willing to talk to you, means there should be one gap. The gap is peace, sound, means silence. Silence is something which is telling that, okay, fine, there is a blockage. Blockage means the person is not ready. And you have to understand that language. You have to understand that silence. Understood? The silence is explaining. So definitely, language is a bridge between two people, but definitely emotions, many other factors are there, behavior, and your presentation is also very important, because how you present yourself creates an impact in the person mind who is exactly in front of you to talk. So definitely, if your presentation about yourself is wrong, the impact will last long. Understood or not? Good evening. Fine, so we are going to wrap up it till here. Super, very good. So we will have very less time to finish the B.Ed में topic क्या क्या है मैडम, आप अगर बताओगे तो I will be helping you also, because at the time of doing B.Ed I got 80%, top 10 ranker, child psychology 98 holder, psychology. So if you will be telling me, means I can be helping you for the notes also. You just tell me what and all topics you are having, I'll definitely help you. Yeah, because much of the topics I'm knowing, and that time I was reading about human mind and different things very nicely. I got 87% in first year. Super, yeah, super. But my situation was different. That time when I joined, my situation was totally different. I had only 1 year. 1 year. In that 6 months, 7 months, I studied very nicely. Last minute. I think 89% I got. 89% I got. 8999. Something was there out of 1000. Full top 10 university ranker. Top 10. I was expecting top 3 ranks, but I didn't got that time. Yes. So child psychology, I think I'm 98 holder, 98 or 99. Two papers I did very nicely. Other subjects are now. Tailoring was one of the topic here. I don't know how to stitch. How can I stitch a very big dress? That was the most thing for me. I was cutting somewhere, it was going somewhere. I can't understand for teaching what is the need of tailoring. How can a teacher become tailor? Yeah? There are some things in Indian education system. I don't want to speak anything about it publicly, but definitely one topic was there, which was exactly stitching, tailoring, this thing, that thing, making bed sheet, making this thing, that thing. How can a teacher do like that? Concentration, dear. How can I'm very weak in concentration. If you will tell me stand in one place, means I'll be standing in one place, but definitely I'll not be able to do those things. So tailoring and something I can't do. You tell me to solve maths question, means I'll do it full day. But if you'll tell me to become a tailor, means 100% it is out of my interest area, and I know that how much I have suffered in that. All people cutting, I'm watching them. Because of those subject only my marks went. Okay, I'm going to start the classes. The students are waiting. Bye.